Boom shakalaka, this confounding Bitcoin whale move explained, and why you want to stay tuned for what's next. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including the confounding whale move explained, and why you definitely don't want to cash out just yet. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, it helps out so much. Now, today, fear and greed down to 65 from yesterday's 73. The overall market down 1%. Bitcoin at 42,588. Ethereum at 23.52. BNB at 3.16. Solana at 108. XRP 62 cents. Cardano 61 cents. Avalanche $41. And Dogecoin 9 cents. And Bitcoin falling through this support line continues to waver. Could be waiting for some support from this 50-day moving average, the yellow line right here, today at roughly $40,200. And if you zoom out based on where we are in the cycle before the halving, comparing it with other cycles, Bitcoin price is right smack in the middle of where it should be, very close to the fair value price of Bitcoin at the time of the halving. Would be expected that we would see roughly the same price for the next halving. Could be going sideways for a few months, but whales, the number of entities with a balance greater than $1,000, are doing something quite curious. There's been a noticeable decrease of over 1.1% in the number of entities holding at least 1,000 Bitcoin in just the last 3 days. Now, what are they doing? Well, there is the possibility that could have a bit of a local top here. If we take a look at the logarithmic MACD, mid-cycle tops, we're at that level where generally we see a mid-cycle top and then roughly a 38 to 53% correction. So potentially could see a correction down to $30,000. Maybe they're hedging their bets. They just want to buy Bitcoin at a cheaper price than $40,000. Or maybe they remember that historically January is one of the worst months for Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, there's only 2 other months that are worse than Bitcoin, worse than January for Bitcoin. But January, generally a pretty crappy month. Now, is that because people have to sell it for taxes or for whatever other reasons? Sometimes they speculate about Chinese New Year, all these different theories. Who knows? But generally in January, the price goes down for Bitcoin. So maybe they know what's going on there, or maybe everybody got liquidated already, which drove the price up, and we are just waiting once again for them to start going long or short on leverage to get liquidated once again to shift the price. As you can see right here, as the price has gone up, the estimated leverage ratio has gone down, meaning that people got liquidated and then don't have the money to buy back in. Go figure. So, that being said, what else is going on? Well, there is more cash coming into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, around $24.2 billion flowing into the crypto market, the highest capital inflows since December of 2021. So definitely getting some more interest right now, and especially with the supply shock that we could have, well, prices are going to get kind of freaky in the near future. If we take a look at the Williams percent R down here on the bottom, approaching levels historically that have been towards the middle of this phase 2, where generally price starts to go up quite dramatically for Bitcoin. Also the OBV, this indicator right here, breaking to new all-time highs on the 2-month OBV at new all-time highs. Now historically, this has signaled within 2 months of breaking previous all-time highs, as you can see in both of these times right here, and within 6 to 10 months of a new top. So this means we could have a roughly $70,000 Bitcoin by February, and then a new peak by June to October of this coming year. That's getting pretty darn exciting. How about this? Bitcoin has never had this cross before in its history. This is a weekly MA100 and weekly MA200 cross. We had the death cross a couple weeks ago, which was the first time ever, but they are lining up right now for potentially a golden cross of the same moving average. Now, they've never crossed historically, but they have narrowed quite a bit, and those times where they go from narrowing to widening, those are the times right before Bitcoin takes off in both cases. So, as they are going from narrowing to widening, could likely be seeing Bitcoin take off quite dramatically. Also, the Chaikin money flow flipping right here. Historically, this is what separates accumulation phase from bull run phase. So you don't want to get caught on the wrong side of this. As a matter of fact, if you were to zoom out to 6-month candles, check this out. So if we take a look at the body of the peak candle, and where we are right now is just below the body of that peak candle on the 6-month time frame. Well, historically, it was only about a year and a half both times, or less, a year to a year and a half before the next peak. And that candle is the one that broke through there. So we could be seeing an absolutely massive move on the horizon for Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, lining up pretty significantly well with the 2020 bull run. We had the coiling right up here. This was about October of 2020, and then a little bit of a stall before the rest of the massive cycle run, because we have already seen the bottom last year. We're in bull phase 1 right now. Next year at bull phase 2, and by the peak, we could have 100,000 by 2024 and potentially $250,000 or more by 2025. And I would be hoping for that more. So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.